Hey, 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 welcome back, everyone. This is Capital City Carolers, and you are now with your host and president, Shayna Parker, on the Christmas Carolers Conversation. This is a new conversation that we are bringing to the airways to inspire our wonderful caroling audience to make it a point this holiday season to practice, to exercise, to engage in family forgiveness, which is our season one as we are debuting this conversation to you, and you. We have been having a phenomenal time discussing different, aspects as to what, contributes to the major issue of unforgiveness. And at core, really just separating our family units. And it is our desire, our passion to help the family unit to come together, to dwell together in peace, to dwell together in harmony. And so it's been a great journey so far. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback. And with that, I have been definitely able to see more angles of this massive issue of forgiveness. The family unit, when we speak about that and what we've been talking about, is the natural family unit, one that you were born into, or even those that you were married into. And the reason that we're talking about that, because more now than ever, there are so many different family structures that are emerging, which we are not here to condemn or say that it's bad, but at the same time, we are being observant that the natural family unit is at risk, and it actually is a contributor, the status of it, for some of the pains that people experience during the holiday season. So, with that, we'll jump right in. This is season one of the Capital City Carolers Conversation, which we're dealing with family forgiveness, and we are on episode 8. And today we are going to talk about merry meditations. Merry meditations. We are hoping that everyone has a Merry Christmas. And to do that, Capital City Carolers is here to encourage you to have some merry meditation time. Now, why is that important? Because in the holiday season, it's busy. When you look at the roads, when you look at the traffic flow, it is extremely busy out. When you go into stores, it is extremely busy. And with busyness, oftentimes there is not a conscious awareness that is active. Usually, people are on autopilot in the list of things that they have to do. And so they're not as mentally aware or emotionally aware, let alone physically aware. You go in a store these days and you bump into someone, and 9 times out of 10, the person that's doing the bumping may not even recognize that they have legitimately nudged into you. Tones are escalating. I had the pleasure of participating in the Tallahassee Jingle Run with some of my dear friends. Blessings to my wonderful husband, Bryant Parker. Blessings to my sister, Tiffany Martin, and my two brothers in the gospel, Cornelius Howard and Terrence Warren. We were out running, and while we were positioning ourselves for this run, this gentleman came up and he was trying to walk by. Well, the tone that he exerted in saying excuse me let me know that he was definitely under stress. It was a highly populated area, and the interesting part is I don't think he was even aware, of it and how he was exerting himself. And so I think that it's so important that we consider merry meditations during this time. And so I'm here to encourage you to consider what is the quality of your meditation time. And I think to consider the quality of it, we have to explore what we understand meditation to be. It's not just closing your eyes, it's not just, being quiet, but it is exerting intentional thought towards, a thing, or a purpose. For the sake of this conversation, we are talking about exerting a thought towards merry thoughts. And when I say merry thoughts, happy thoughts, peaceful thoughts, joyous thoughts, harmonious thoughts. That is so important, that we take time and we dwell in that place. Meditation is so powerful that once done correctly, it actually enables one to be able to see visuals of what one has thought over. I've already confessed I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, and one of my favorite sayings in the Bible is David says he meditated on the word day and night. That suggests repetition in thought that suggests rehearsal. And I think it's important that though we may be busy in our various ways, that we take intentional time to engage in meditation. It increases our ability to be whole as people and to love better. It increases our ability as people not to be so offended by the interactions with others, because we are empowered to have a little bit more understanding, not excusing bad behavior, but we're empowered to have more understanding for why a person may be doing what they're doing without having an innate need to fix, without having an innate need to end or to solve a problem. And so this is Capital City Carolers. This is the Christmas Carolers conversation. And I want to hear from you as well, to understand, what do you do to preserve a sense of quality in spirit, a sense of quality in mind? Merry meditations are needed more now than ever. A simple, polite hello, a simple, polite bid of Merry Christmas, peace unto you, can truly change the atmosphere of a person. Why? Because people are living in atmospheres. They're living in what their mind is rehearsing. Though they may try to cloak themselves, and you may be thinking, well, I'm trying to cloak myself. But I think it's important that when we recognize what our mind is rehearsing, that we can make an intentional act to engage it in a different direction. And so, I always like to give a challenge. This is a brief conversation today, but I want to give a challenge because I think how we go and interact with family, the quality of that interaction is going to be based on whether we were able to engage in merry meditations. So I want to give a challenge, that 5 minutes, 3 times a day, that you engage in merry meditations, meditating on truly from your core belief system what you believe, that your life should dwell within, how you should be mentally, how you should be emotionally, how you should be physically. I want you to take a good solid 5 minutes uninterrupted, not while doing anything else. And I want you to just meditate. Meditate until you get a picture of seeing yourself mentally, seeing yourself emotionally, and seeing yourself physically. And as you do that, I believe that you'll experience more peace. And so, merry meditations are important. What do you do when your mind is so clouded with other, toxic, or the word I'm looking for is more confrontational or agitational thoughts? I recommend totally disengaging and actually throwing your whole body into some other activity. Now, that can be a range of things. I like to go to the gym. That's something where I found it is difficult for me to actively think when I'm really actively engaging in the gym. Other people like to use their brain in other ways. And so maybe, working on some programming, doing some graphic designs, coloring can be a great out, painting. Walking, some people love, nature walks. And so I want you to dare to find that activity that will allow you to break the cycle of rehearsal from the toxic thoughts and to engage intentionally into merry meditations. And so this is Capital City Carolers with your host and president again, Shayna Parker. You have been listening in to the Christmas Carolers conversation, and we want to know what you think. If you have any tips that you'd like to share for how you engage in merry meditations, definitely leave a comment. We are wanting the community at large to participate, as we are striving to enhance, to better our community out there. Again, we will be caroling in the great city of Tallahassee, Florida, coming up December 17th. And we have more information available on our website at www.capitalcitycarolers.com. And so I say unto you, be merry and abide in merry